Hey folks, this is George Clark with Clark Family Biz. I want to talk to you for a few minutes about multiple income streams. I personally am involved in 4 business opportunities. I believe very strongly in the concept of diversifying, if you will, having multiple streams of income. People who are into this industry also have multiple business opportunities they're working with. And I'll give you a little bit of an idea of why that's a good thing, and I might even share with you some reasons why it's not so good if you go the wrong direction with it. But one reason why it's good to have multiple streams of income is that if you have business A, and business B, and business C, and opportunity D, for instance, it's a lot like that fisherman that's out there in his boat or wading in a stream somewhere, and he casts his line, and he puts that line in the water, and he's hoping, praying, or whatever, that a fish is going to bite. He might be using a worm, he might be using a fly for fly fishing kind of thing, he might be using some sort of lure, he might have some other kind of bait that he uses, a piece of bread, I don't know. I've been told, though, that if you have multiple lines, hooks in the water, law of averages, you have a bigger catch. Maybe that fish that's swimming by doesn't like bait number 1, doesn't like hook number 2, hook number 3, well, that's right up its alley, so it takes a bite. Or maybe it'll nibble at 1, and nibble at 2, and nibble at 3, but it'll latch on to number 4. Or maybe it'll latch on number 1, I don't know. So by having those different hooks in the water, there's a better chance of reaching somebody. A lot of the marketing that I do is very generic. I send out marketing, whether it be one of those forms that I shared with you before, formats that I shared with you before. Some of them are very specific, but a lot of them are very generic, where they have a phone number to call, and that phone number takes them to a voicemail that I have set up through a free service called Google Voice, and that voicemail is somewhat generic too, telling them a little bit about the opportunity and asking them to leave their name and number, and explaining to them on the voicemail that in the businesses that I'm involved in, I don't chase anybody. I don't have time to chase anybody, and I'm more than willing to work with them and help them, but they need to give me a time to call them back, and they need to be available to take my call when I do call them back, because, as I said, I won't chase them. Now that does a few things, and we'll talk about that principle a little bit later on, but nonetheless, I call them back, and then we go through an interview type process, and I find out in discussion with them what business opportunity that I have may work best for them. And through that way, there's been some people I've signed up in multiple businesses at one time. Others I've signed up in one opportunity, and then as they get their feet wet in that and was able to handle it, I get them involved in a second opportunity, and so forth. But the fact is, I have opportunity A. That's, you know, the different businesses I'm in, so I'll go ahead and mention a couple of them. I have opportunity A, 1X. 1X is a great opportunity. It has a lot of potential and a very small dollar amount to get in. However, we do encourage people to take a little bit deeper plunge than the minimum requirement. But nonetheless, it's very easy to get involved in it, and someone can very quickly build a downline in it if they work the program and they follow the instructions and follow the plan and the training that we provide for them. Another program that I'm involved with is Z&Z. Zip, not a zilch. It's more of a work from home program as opposed to a bizopp program, and it has great potential of earning people anywhere from $100 to $500 or more a day just by placing ads in classified ads and so forth, and promoting Fortune 500 companies. And so those are very similar in the sense that one doesn't cost you anything to do, and the other one $5 at least $5 to get started, and if you want, maybe up to $100, but you don't have to. Anywhere from $5 to $100 to get started, and then the one that costs nothing to get started. Then I have some other programs that are more high dollar, if you will. They're called top tier programs. I'm not going to go into the pricing with you on those, but they're top tier. Therefore, it's not for everybody. Some people aren't willing to take the higher risk, and that's fine. But like any investment, the lower the risk, usually the lower the return, or the longer it takes to build up a return. The higher the risk, yes, there's more of a chance of losing the investment cost, but with the higher the risk, there's also the better or the higher chance of return. And I'll tell you, it has a higher dollar amount to get in, but one sale or one referral will make up that cost, and then you're on a pretty good stage from there on forward. Two of these programs I'm involved in, they're called Top Tier, and they're both about the same amount to get in, but one of them offers a financing option. So maybe someone's interested in that Top Tier and they've got the drive, they want to do it, and they see the potential, but they can't really afford the one Top Tier program because they can't afford all the cash up front. But the other Top Tier program, same exact compensation plan, well, almost same exact, close enough compensation plan, pretty close when it comes to the amount of money that's involved, receiving and spending. And but it has a finance option that nobody gets turned down in, and as long as you're breathing and you have some sort of income coming in already, whether it be a job or whatever the case may be, it doesn't matter what your credit's like, you're going to be accepted, and whatnot. And so that may be perfect for an individual to do. Okay, but anyways, so you have in that diversification, you have the different types of compensation plans, you have the different types of programs. One of them that I mentioned is a multi-level marketing program. One of them that I meant with residual income. One of them that I mentioned is a more like a get paid today program. There's not really any residual income involved in there, but it's a program that people can use to get cash right away. Doesn't cost anything to get in. One of them that I mentioned is what we call a top tier program. It's a higher dollar amount to get in, and you get all your money up front when people come in, as opposed to program number one that has the residual multi-level, but you have to have several people in your downline and they have to stick with it and actually follow the program before you see the kind of money that you see from this top tier with just one bang. Okay, and then the other top tier program that I mentioned, the one with the financing option, well, that top tier program, it not only has the financing option, but it also has on the back end, it has an MLM concept matched with the top tier program, so it's the best of both worlds. You get the quick cash up front. I mean, one person come in, you get $1,000. I mean, that's just to give you an idea. One person comes in, you get a quick start bonus of $1,000. Well, let me back up. If they finance, it's a little bit less, but you get a quick start bonus from anywhere from $600 to $1,000 for one person coming in, and then you have the opportunity of earning a residual income off of their efforts, and if they choose to continue purchasing other products from this company, you earn commissions from that too, although they're not locked into having to purchase anything more besides the initial startup fee. Alright, so you've got that concept with the multiple streams of income. The other concept is the product. Okay, and obviously if you're going to do multiple streams of income, you don't want all the products to be the same. If you believe, for instance, if you're in a health and wellness type program, and you believe that your potion, powder, and pill is the best on there, and by the way, if you don't believe it's the best, you have no business pushing it. Just to be frank with you, if you don't believe in your product, then why in the world would you sell it to somebody else? That's unethical. Okay, but if you believe that your powder, potion, or pill is the best, then why would you sell a different powder, potion, and pill? And maybe they have a better product A and this one has a better product B, and I guess you could justify it that way, but it may send the wrong message out to your downline if you're pushing two different powder, potion, and pills programs. So maybe you don't want to have more than one of those. You know, if you're involved in some of them that are out there, you may not want to have a second or a third one of those. And so, for instance, the programs I'm involved in, one is the 1X. Of course, that's also involved with QL Exchange. That's a gold and silver program, along with financing, marketing, and investing lessons and training. One program that I'm involved in, it's basically, there is no product per se, you're providing a service to Fortune 500 companies, getting people to review their stuff, and in return the Fortune 500 companies pay us a good amount of money for the referral, because of all the money they're losing in advertisement on TV with all the DVRs and people watching Netflix and things like that. They're not getting as big of a bang for the advertisement bucks with commercials, and so they found this way to advertise by word of mouth, and they pay you for the referral. So that's a service that you're offering, and so forth, to the Fortune 500 companies. That's who's paying you, not the person you bring in. All right, so you have the MLM, that the one that I'm involved in. You're selling online lessons that deal with finances and home-based business and that kind of stuff. And it also has a gold and silver aspect to it if someone chooses to do so. The other program involved in it has the concept of you're not getting any money from the people you bring in. You're just referring them to try free trial periods for these products, and the Fortune 500 company pays you for the referral service. And then the top tier program that one of the top tier programs I mentioned, that's similar product to 1X, except it's a series of very high volume lessons that people go to business college for, and done through video rather than PDF, and teaching from anywhere from how to build a business to marketing and things of that nature. And so very high volume, great products, as well as a few other bonuses that come into play that deals with marketing that will help you market your other programs. And then the fourth program I mentioned, the other top tier program that has a MLM on the back end of it, and it also has the financing option. That is a product that, well, it's a little bit too detailed for me to describe on this video, but it deals with families, helping families, and building families, parental training and things of that nature, and bringing families close together. And my heart, I'll be honest with you, my heart is really into that. Many of you know I pastor a church, and one reason why I got involved in these programs is so that I could free up my time to pastor and work the ministry, and have time with my family as well. And I'll not go into all that with you again, but the point is that product is different from the others, and it has a very high value to it. So in diversification, you have your different compensation plans, and you have your different products that you need to promote on. And those are the four that I'm basically focusing on. I have gotten involved in one other one, but I haven't really done much with it. Kind of just let it sit to the side, and I may pick it up later, I may not. Now, let me give you the negative. The negative of having multiple programs is this. Just like that fisherman analogy that I gave you a moment ago. If you have too many lines in the water, your lines may get tangled up. The fish may get so confused that they choose nothing. There's also the possibility that you're so busy running after all the bumps and the nibbles that you miss the bite. Okay? And so there's also that possibility you get yourself involved in too many programs, or at least too many at one time. You're running back and forth from one to the other. You never really get the opportunity to really become an expert in any one of them, and you're not able to give the kind of time that your downline or your prospects need you to give them, and you end up losing out in the end, and you run yourself ragged running from one line to the next that you never really pull in the catch that you should pull in. So you need to diversify, but don't overdo it. And what's the magic number? Well, I don't know that there is one. I think it somewhat depends on you. I wouldn't necessarily do what I did, and that's get started in all of them at the same time. That has really slowed me down a lot more than I would have liked. I would get started in one, run it for a little while, get to know it, understand it, bring on another one that might help you build that first one, or vice versa, and add to as you go, but don't add too quickly. Okay, so that's that advice.